Hey everybody. The lighting is a little bit better than I expected it to be, considering this whole house is just dark. Um, I'm currently by myself. It's probably about at 11 o'clock at night, so kind of similar to the last video I filmed. And these kind of go together, but I wouldn't say that this is a sequel per se. I feel like I will and probably should bring up the other video at some points as I'm talking here, because it kind of helps make my point even stronger. But I first need to start off by saying that the responses that the people in my life who saw my last video gave me were incredible. I'm I not saying I'm taking anything back that I said in that video, because I'm not. That video is about as raw and emotional and just generally, I guess, accurate would be the correct word, that I've probably ever put into words. So I don't take any of that back. However, the response and the things that were said to me because of that video, and I need to stay right now. This is not depressing. This is not a depressing video. If anything, this is kind of a celebration video for me. But going back, just sorry, I get a little off topic sometimes. Just the responses and the things that were said to me after they watched the full 20 20 or so minutes, I don't remember how long it is, of just that, really did hit a chord with me. Cuz I've always kind of felt throughout my entire life is just kind of the side character to most people. Or I have another term that I use, but I won't use it here. But I've always kind of felt like I'm not that important to other people, or at least not as important as I think I am to other people. But and I still believe that people are finite. They I mean, people can come and go. I mean, life is a revolving door in itself. But I don't, as much as I think they're finite, I don't think that I gave them enough credit. And that is what this video is about. Is not giving my friends and those close to me enough credit. Because they are amazing people. And the ones that saw that video and have heard me talk about, my inner demons and just kind of how I feel on a daily basis, just the way that they just treat me is incredible. This is actually a lot harder to articulate than the other video. I couldn't tell you exactly why. I just think it's because love is quite hard to put into words. Sorry, my lighting kind of changed there, but it's fine. Um, but I feel like love is a lot harder to put into words than pain and everything is. I don't know why. Maybe it's just my personal thing and it's different for everyone else. But I find it a lot easier to convey pain or anger than it is to portray love and happiness. As depressing as that sounds, that's just kind of how I work when it comes to just kind of throwing myself out there. But I'm making this video because I really do need to talk about how amazing these people are, and if you're watching this, you know exactly who you are. Because I'm not going to name any names, because it's really not necessary, but if you're watching this, you know who you are. And going back to the last video, I remember, you know, the next day, I I was still just not doing that great. I was still in a pretty weird funk with, you know, just kind of dealing with everything. Maybe it was a day after, maybe it was two. I don't quite remember. It doesn't matter. It's dates, times, not exactly important. But I remember directing someone to that video because I finally reached my point where I had to admit that I was not okay because I wasn't. I was not okay. And I'm not saying that I'm, you know, fucking happiest person on earth. I never really can be, but I'm in a much better place. At least I feel like I am currently. But you know, they go into, oh, why would you lie about that, you know? What's wrong? And I directed them to that video because, like I said, that's one of the rawest things I have ever, I guess, created or admitted. Maybe a little bit of mixture of both. And they watched it. They actually took 20 minutes to see me just not in the greatest of positions. And I remember around 10 or 11 o'clock that night, I got messages telling me how much they loved me and how much I mattered, and that they weren't going to try to criticize me or just really say anything much about it at all. They just told me how much they loved me. And to a lot of people, love is not a powerful word because it's a lot of times overused or misused. But the word love, to me, is a very powerful word. Because if you can admit that you love someone and not, well, I care about you, I appreciate you, you say you love. Love is a very powerful thing, and it's a very powerful word. And to hear someone in my own life say those words to me, I think that they don't even really remotely begin to understand how much that strikes a chord with me. To to hear, after everything going on in my own head and trying to fight my own personal demons, to hear things like that was one of the most powerful experiences that I've had in a long time. I'm not sad. I'm choking up a little bit, but I want I want anyone and everyone who's watching this to understand I'm not sad. It's just recalling things like this and thinking about them just really does hit a chord in my soul, and it really does mean quite a lot. The way that my friends, especially my guy friends, because they are the majority, and don't get me wrong, I have my couple of sisters and they are fucking incredible. They treat me better than I could ever hope to be treated, or probably really deserve to be treated. But with the guys in my life, they don't treat me like just some other girl. That weirdo that just kind of fucking came out of nowhere and just kind of the odd man out of this group of men. They don't treat me as an outsider. They they integrate me into things. They're my wingmen. I mean, that might sound weird for me being a chick, but they are my wingmen. They treat me like they'd treat anybody else that was their same gender. And as weird as that sounds, it means so much to me. To be able to be with these people that I hold to some of the highest regards that you could probably hold people to treat me as an equal, to treat me just like another one of the bros, to just accept me. It really does make a difference, and it really does mean a lot. I'm continuously getting more choked up just talking about this. The point, more or less, to why I even fucking recorded this shit show in the first place, because this is incoherent as hell. I mean, this is just fucking word vomit. But the reason I recorded this is because I really need to give thanks to those in my life. Because I know that you think what you do is small and what you do is insignificant in the big grand scheme of pictures and the grand scheme of life. But to me, it means the fucking world. The things that you guys will do for me. Sometimes I really don't think I deserve you. Yet you, for now, just seem to stick around anyway. You treat me like a fucking princess. Even though I am the queen of hell. I mean, I am the queen of hell. But you treat me like a fucking princess. Or a queen, even. Of just goodness. And like I said, I bet a lot of you don't think that you play a significant role overall in this funny little thing we call life. But you do. And I want you to remember that you play a significant role in my life. Because without you and without all the little things that you do, you know, making plans with me, telling me you care, taking that little extra second to help me with something, as weird as some of that stuff can be, I know a few of you will understand what I'm talking about there. But you take the time out of your own life to contribute to mine. And it seems so small, but it's not. It's not to me. And you have to remember that you are all important. Because without these things, those demons would take over and win. Because as much as I can do on my own, having the support and the love really just makes all the difference in what I try to achieve. Please remember that I care about every single one of you. And I care about you. I love you. And like I said earlier, as much as everyone thinks that's a word that has very little power, that's some of the highest praise I can sing. because love is a powerful thing, and it's a very powerful term, and I mean it. I love all of you, and I would not be here to be telling you these things, to be doing things that I do, if you weren't here. I cherish every single moment that I have with you, all of you. Never forget that. Because while a lot of you think you can't change the world, you certainly change mine for the better. And I think I need to put a stop to this just absolute just bullshit, just word spewing. I mean all of it. As incoherent as it all is, I mean it. So, sincerely, thank you. I guess I'll see you guys in whatever I decide to make next. Peace out.